I can't believe it, I whispered, staring at the shimmering water beyond the villa windows. After everything, it's mine. Daniel Kerr, the agent, chuckled. I told you it would feel real once you held the keys. Sign here, Elena, and it's officially yours. My hands trembled as I gripped the pen. I worked 30 years for this moment. 2 jobs. Sleepless nights. And Robert, my voice cracked. He never lived to see it. Daniel's tone softened. Then sign for both of you. Let this be your victory. I pressed my name on the line. The sound of the pen scratching against paper was louder than my heartbeat. When Daniel slid the folder shut, I couldn't breathe for a moment. So that's it? I asked. No one can take this from me? Legally, no one, Daniel assured. You're the rightful owner. This villa is yours. I clutched the keys so tight they left marks in my palm. I feel like I've been holding my breath for decades. Daniel smiled. Then exhale. You deserve it. I laughed softly, though tears blurred my sight. Thank you, Daniel. You have no idea what this means. I can guess, he said. Congratulations, Mrs. Ward. Just Elena, I corrected, trying to sound strong. But inside I was breaking from relief. When I stepped outside, the breeze from the water hit my face. I whispered to Robert in my mind. We did it, love. We finally did it. My phone buzzed. Claire's name lit up the screen. I answered quickly. Claire, guess where I am? Don't keep me waiting. Tell me, she laughed. I'm standing in front of my villa. My villa, Claire. It's real. A sharp gasp came from her end. You signed the papers already? Yes, I said, barely holding back tears. I signed. It's done. No bank can take it. No landlord can raise the rent. This is mine. He squealed. Elena, I'm so proud of you. After all the years you lived in that cramped apartment, finally you're where you belong. I sat on the villa's front steps. I don't know whether to scream, laugh, or just collapse. Part of me feels like I'm dreaming. Claire's tone softened. You're not dreaming. You earned this. Remember the nights you walked home from the diner after midnight? The mornings you ironed uniforms before your second shift? Every blister, every sacrifice, it brought you here. I swallowed hard. I remember Robert's voice telling me to rest, and I couldn't. I had to keep going for Marissa, for myself. Claire hesitated. Do you feel happy, Elena? Yes, but also scared, I admitted. Every time I've been happy, something was ripped away. I keep thinking, what if this doesn't last? Stop, she said firmly. Don't curse it with fear. Happiness is yours to keep this time. I want to believe that, I whispered. You have to. This villa isn't just a house, it's a symbol. You survived everything. That's what the walls will remind you of. I looked at the stone walls, strong and timeless. It feels like freedom. But part of me feels guilty for being happy. Don't, Claire snapped. Robert would want this. And Marissa, she should be proud of you too. I sighed. I hope so. I want her to see this place as proof that her mother wasn't weak. Claire chuckled. Weak? Elena, you're the strongest woman I know. You built a life from ashes. Maybe. I forced a smile. But sometimes strength feels lonely. Not anymore, Claire promised. This villa will be filled with laughter. I'll make sure of it. We'll drink wine on that porch of yours and watch the sun melt into the lake. I closed my eyes, imagining it. That sounds perfect. Because it will be, she said. Silence stretched, broken only by the soft waves against the shore. Finally, I murmured, Claire, what if happiness leaves again? She answered without hesitation. Then you'll fight for it. Like you always have. Her words sank into me. Maybe she was right. Maybe I could hold on this time. I should go, I said softly. I want to walk through the rooms once more before I head home. Promise me you'll celebrate tonight. I'll try, I whispered. Not try, do. You deserve joy, Elena. I ended the call and slipped the phone into my pocket. Inside, the empty villa echoed my footsteps. My voice sounded small when I said aloud, this house belongs to me. I touched the walls, the windows, the cold marble counters. My laughter bounced back at me. Tears rolled down, but I didn't wipe them. Happiness, I whispered, staring out at the water. Please stay this time. I set the table with trembling hands, my heart light for once. Tomorrow I would move into the villa. Tonight I wanted to share the joy with Marissa and her husband Victor. When they walked in, I greeted them with a wide smile. I made your favorite, roast chicken with herbs. Sit, sit. Marissa glanced around my modest apartment. Smells nice, Mom. What's the occasion? I laughed softly. I've been holding on to a secret. Victor leaned back in his chair, smirking. A secret? This sounds serious. It is, I said, setting the dishes down. After years of saving, working, scraping, I finally did it. I bought a home. A villa by the lake. For a second, silence filled the room. Then Marissa's fork clattered against her plate. You've what? I smiled proudly. A villa. Waterfront. Sign the papers today. Tomorrow I move in. Her eyes widened, but instead of joy, I saw a sharp edge. That villa isn't yours. I froze. What do you mean? I bought it with my savings. Every penny was mine. Victor's lips curled. Robert promised the family estate to Marissa before he died. You know that. My voice shook. Robert left nothing like that in writing. And this villa has nothing to do with him, it's mine. Marissa's tone grew cold. No, Mom. It belongs to me. Dad always said when the time came I'd inherit. Inherit what? I snapped. We had nothing but debts when he passed. I clawed my way out, working double shifts while you studied abroad. This house is my blood, my sweat. Don't you dare claim it. She crossed her arms. I'm his daughter. That house is mine by right. Tears stung my eyes. By right. I starved so you could eat, Marissa. I walked to work so you could wear new shoes. And now you say this. Victor leaned forward, voice dripping with venom. Don't be dramatic, Elena. Think rationally. You're older now. Maintaining a villa is hard work. Let Marissa and me take over. Live with us instead. I shook my head violently. No. This house is the first thing I've ever owned outright. You won't take it from me. Marissa's voice rose. You're being selfish. Selfish. My chest burned. I gave you everything, Marissa. Every dream I buried was for you. And you repay me by trying to steal my home. Victor chuckled coldly. We're not stealing. We're claiming what should have been ours. The community will believe Robert's daughter over his widow. I slammed my fist on the table. You will not spread lies about me. Marissa's face twisted. I don't need to lie. That villa is mine, Mom. You'll see. Silence fell heavy, broken only by the ticking clock. My appetite vanished. I whispered, I thought you'd be happy for me. Marissa avoided my gaze. I would have, if you hadn't stolen my inheritance. My heart cracked. Stolen? I built this from nothing. How dare you? Victor smirked again. Calm down, Elena. Fighting us is pointless. Just hand over the keys tomorrow. Spare yourself the humiliation. I rose from my chair, shaking. Get out. Both of you. Now. Marissa stood too, glaring at me. This isn't over. Victor added, enjoy tonight, Elena. Tomorrow your dream becomes ours. I pointed at the door. Leave. They stormed out, the echo of their footsteps stabbing through me. The moment the door shut, my knees gave way. I fell against the chair, sobbing into my hands. Robert, I whispered into the empty room, why is our daughter doing this to me? The roast sat untouched, cold on the table. My heart was colder. Hours later, I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, their words replaying in my mind. That villa isn't yours. It belongs to me. I clutched the keys beneath my pillow, whispering into the darkness, it's mine. No one will take it. Not even her. But deep inside, fear crept in. Fear that happiness was slipping away before I even had the chance to taste it. The next morning, I sat at the kitchen table, staring at the cold cup of coffee in front of me. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. Claire knocked softly before stepping inside. Elena? You didn't answer my calls. Are you okay? I forced a weak smile. Sit down, Claire. I need to tell you something. She sat across from me, concern etched on her face. What happened? They came over last night. Marissa and Victor. My voice cracked. I thought they'd be happy for me. Instead, they told me the villa belongs to them. Claire's eyes widened. They said what? I nodded, tears spilling. Marissa looked me in the eye and said, that villa isn't yours. She claims Robert promised it to her. Claire slammed her hand on the table. That's ridiculous. Robert left nothing like that. Everyone knows you worked for this on your own. I covered my face. Still hearing my daughter say those words, it broke me, Claire. I gave her everything. How can she turn on me like this? Claire leaned forward. Because Victor's poisoning her mind. I never trusted him. He's greedy, controlling. And now he's using Marissa to get what he wants. I whispered, but she's not a child anymore. She made a choice to believe him. Claire sighed. Elena, you've spoiled her with love. You sacrificed too much, maybe. Children who are handed everything sometimes forget the price their parents paid. My chest ached. Do you think I raised her wrong? Did I love her too much? No, Claire said firmly. You raised her with the best heart. But love doesn't always make people grateful. Sometimes it makes them entitled. I clenched my fist. She called me selfish. After everything I've done for her, she called me selfish. Claire's eyes softened. You're not selfish, Elena. You're human. You finally chose something for yourself and she can't stand it. I buried my face in my hands. I feel so guilty. Maybe I should just give her the villa. Maybe peace is better than fighting my own child. No. Claire snapped. Don't even think that. If you give in now, you'll lose more than the villa. You'll lose your dignity. Do you want Victor running your life? I shook my head violently. No, never. Then stand tall, she said. Marissa will realize the truth one day. But for now you must protect what you've earned. My phone buzzed. A message from Marissa flashed across the screen. Don't bother moving tomorrow. We'll handle it. Tears blurred my vision. She's serious, Claire. She really means to take it. Claire grabbed my hand. Then let her try. She'll learn the law is not on her side. You have the papers, the proof. She has nothing but empty words. I whispered, but she's still my daughter. Every part of me wants to hold her and beg her to stop. Claire's voice softened. I know. But sometimes the people we love most are the ones who wound us deepest. I wiped my tears, but they kept coming. I never imagined my greatest enemy would be my own child. Claire looked at me with fierce eyes. Then don't fight her like an enemy. Fight Victor. He's the one behind this. Marissa will wake up from his spell eventually. I swallowed hard. What if she doesn't? Then you'll survive anyway, she said. You always have. I stared at the wall, hearing Robert's voice in my head. Take care of her, Elena. He's all we have. I whispered to Claire. Robert would hate this. He wanted us united. He trusted me to protect her. Claire squeezed my hand. Protecting her doesn't mean letting her destroy you. Sometimes love means saying no. I nodded slowly, though my heart felt like glass shattering inside me. The door creaked and Mrs. Hathaway, my elderly neighbor, peeked in. Elena, I heard raised voices last night. Is everything all right? I forced a smile. Just family matters, Mrs. Hathaway. She frowned. Family can be the sharpest knife. Be careful. Children today, they don't always honor their parents like they should. Her words cut deep because they were true. When she left, I turned back to Claire. I don't know if I have the strength. You do, Claire said firmly. I've seen you work 3 jobs while barely standing. You've survived grief, poverty, loneliness. You can survive this too. I whispered, but can I survive my daughter's hatred? Claire's voice broke slightly. Maybe not without scars. But scars prove you lived. And Elena, you have more fight in you than you realize. I sat in silence, the weight of my heartbreak pressing down. My daughter's face haunted me, the little girl I once cradled, now a stranger with cold eyes. Robert, I whispered under my breath, I tried. I did everything for her. Why does she hate me? The room stayed silent, offering no answer. Only the sound of my own broken sobs filled the air. I sat stiffly in Julian Cross's office, clutching the folder that held every receipt, every statement, every sacrifice I'd made. He flipped through the papers, nodding. Elena, this villa is legally yours. You paid in full. No one can contest that. I leaned forward, desperate. But Victor says Robert promised it to Marissa. He's telling people I stole from my own daughter. Julian adjusted his glasses. Promises without documents mean nothing. Robert never owned this villa. You bought it. Period. My voice trembled. Then why do I still feel like I'm losing? Because betrayal cuts deeper than law, Julian said softly. But trust me, The law is on your side. I exhaled shakily. I just want peace. You'll have it if you stand firm, he said. Let them shout lies. The truth is written in these papers. When I left the office, I went straight to the bank. Owen Reed, the manager, met me at his desk. Owen, please, I whispered, sliding the documents over. Tell me again, the money, the transfer, everything, it was all mine, right? He nodded firmly. Yes, Mrs. Ward. Your savings, your account. No cosigners. No joint names. Every dollar was yours. Tears stung my eyes. Then why do they act like I stole it? Because greed blinds people, Owen said gently. But don't doubt yourself. You earned this home. I nodded, but doubt gnawed at me anyway. That evening, as I prepared tea, my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered cautiously. Hello. Victor's voice slid like oil through the line. Enjoying your little victory, Elena? My heart jumped. What do you want? What's mine? He said coldly. That villa. Don't get too comfortable. Anger rose in my throat. It's not yours, Victor. You have no claim. He laughed low. Claim or not, I'll make sure everyone believes you're a thief. A woman who betrayed her own daughter. My hand shook. You won't succeed. Oh, I already have, he sneered. The neighbors, the church folk, even Marissa's friends, they'll all whisper. You'll be the selfish widow who robbed her child. My voice cracked. Why are you doing this? Because power belongs to those who take it, he hissed. And you're weak, Elena. You always have been. I slammed the phone down, my chest heaving. The tea spilled across the counter, forgotten. Claire arrived moments later, finding me pale and trembling. What happened? Victor, I whispered. He called. He said he'll ruin me. Her eyes flared with anger. That snake. He thinks fear will make you surrender. Don't give him that satisfaction. I hugged myself. But what if people believe him? They might, she admitted. But lies don't last. Proof does. You have the deeds, the bank records, the law. Hold on to that. I shook my head. The law can't fix the hole in my heart, Claire. My own daughter believes him. Claire's voice softened. Then fight not just for the villa but for yourself. If you give in, you'll disappear. The phone buzzed again, another message. This time from Marissa. Victor's right. You should hand it over before things get ugly. My throat closed. I showed Claire. She gritted her teeth. She's under his spell. One day she'll regret this. I whispered, but regret won't erase these wounds. Claire took my hands. Elena, listen to me. You survived worse. You buried your husband and still stood tall. Don't let this man break you. I nodded slowly, though fear pressed hard against my ribs. Later that night, as I sat alone, the villa keys lay on the table before me. I picked them up, gripping them tightly. Mine, I whispered into the silence. No matter what they say. Mine. But the phone's glow haunted me, Victor's words echoing in my ears. Don't get too comfortable. It's not yours for long. I pressed the keys to my chest, whispering a prayer into the darkness. God, give me strength. Because my own daughter has turned against me. I had just set a vase of lilies on the dining table when the knock came. Heavy. Demanding. My heart sank. I opened the door to find Victor standing there, smug, Marissa at his side, arms folded. Nice place, Victor said, stepping past me without invitation. Shame it won't be yours for long. I blocked Marissa from entering. What are you doing here? Marissa's eyes were cold. We came to claim what's ours. My throat tightened. Yours. I bought this villa. With my money. Victor smirked. Robert promised it to Marissa. That makes it hers. I held my ground. Robert never owned it. He couldn't promise what wasn't his. Marissa snapped. Stop twisting everything. Dad wanted me to have a home. You're spitting on his memory. Pain stabbed through me. I'm not spitting on anything. I built this life brick by brick. Why can't you respect that? Because you're selfish, she shot back. You care more about walls and floors than about your own daughter. Victor chuckled darkly. Elena, even your own flesh and blood knows you're a thief. I trembled, but my voice sharpened. I have the deed. The bank records. The law. He leaned close, breath hot. Law doesn't matter when the whole town thinks you're a fraud. Claire suddenly appeared from the hallway, arms crossed. Get out before I call the police. Victor sneered. Ah, the loyal friend. Always meddling. Tell me, Claire, do you really think you can protect her? Claire's tone cut like glass. Better me than a vulture who feeds on lies. Marissa pushed forward, glaring at me. Hand me the keys, Mom. Do one decent thing for once in your life. My knees nearly gave way. Marissa, please, don't do this. Don't let him poison you against me. Her voice cracked with rage. He's the only one telling me the truth. You've lied to me for years. The words sliced deeper than any blade. I staggered back, whispering, everything I did was for you. Victor clapped his hands slowly. Touching. But enough melodrama. Hand over the keys or we'll make this very public. Claire stepped between us. She owes you nothing. If you don't leave, I'll call Julian. And the police. Victor's smile twisted. Call whoever you want. But remember, Elena, once your reputation rots, no one will care about your papers. He turned to Marissa. We're wasting time. Go. The gossip will do the work for us. Marissa hesitated, eyes flickering with something. Doubt, maybe. For a moment I thought she might reach for me. Instead she turned away. Victor grabbed her arm and guided her out. Come, darling. Let the old woman rot in her house of lies. When the door slammed shut, I collapsed into the chair, shaking. Claire rushed to me. Elena, breathe. Don't let him see you crumble. Tears poured freely. My own daughter. She looked at me like I was a stranger. Claire knelt beside me. He's brainwashing her. She's blinded. But deep down she knows the truth. I covered my face. Then why does it hurt so much? Because you love her, Claire said gently. And love makes betrayal unbearable. The phone buzzed on the table. A new message from Marissa. Hand over the villa before you lose everything. My chest constricted. Claire. She's threatening me now. Claire's jaw tightened. It's not her, it's his words in her mouth. Don't give in. I whispered, what if they come back? What if they force me? Claire squeezed my hands. Then we'll fight harder. You're not alone in this. The night stretched heavy, shadows thick around the villa. I sat awake in the living room, the keys clutched tight in my fist. Every creak made me flinch. At midnight another knock echoed. I froze. Don't answer, Claire whispered. The knocking grew louder. Elena. Victor's voice thundered. You can't hide behind paper forever. I pressed my back against the wall, heart hammering. Claire dialed her phone. Police are on their way, she shouted through the door. Victor's laughter drifted inside. Police can't save her from shame. Enjoy your night, thief. Then silence. I slid to the floor, trembling. He won't stop. Claire wrapped an arm around me. Then neither will we. Tomorrow we go public, with the truth. No more hiding. I whispered, I'm so tired, Claire. Tired of fighting. She looked me dead in the eyes. Then fight for me. Fight for yourself. Fight for the years you bled to make this dream real. Don't let him write your ending. The words pierced through my fog of despair. Slowly I nodded. All right. Tomorrow we fight. But deep in my bones, fear lingered, whispering that this was only the beginning. By morning the villa no longer felt like mine. I opened the curtains and imagined the neighbors whispering behind their windows. My phone buzzed nonstop. Missed calls, unread messages, most from people I hadn't spoken to in years. Claire poured coffee and slid a mug toward me. Don't read them. It's poison. But I couldn't help it. The first message read, Is it true you stole the house from your daughter? My stomach twisted. I muttered, They've already started. Claire's jaw tightened. Victor moves fast. But so can we. Another knock rattled the door. My heart jumped, but this time it was Daniel, the agent. He stepped in, his face pale. Elena, I've been getting calls. People are saying ugly things. Did something happen last night? I forced my voice steady. Victor came. With Marissa. He's spreading lies. Daniel rubbed his forehead. I figured. He called my office this morning, claiming you forged signatures. What? My chest burned. That's impossible. Every paper is legal. I know, Daniel said quickly. But rumors don't need proof. They just need noise. Claire slammed her mug on the table. Then we make louder noise. Show the truth. Speak first before he buries her. Daniel hesitated. You'll need evidence. Bank statements, the deed, witness accounts. I whispered, I have them all. Every receipt, every late-night paycheck. I kept it all because I knew someday I'd need to prove I was enough. Daniel nodded. Then we gather it. And we show everyone before Victor twists the story. Claire leaned closer. Go public, Elena. Don't hide. The town only believes what it sees. I looked down at my trembling hands. And if Marissa hates me more for it? Claire's voice softened. If you stay silent, she'll never see the truth. Let her hear it from you, not him. For a long moment I said nothing. Then I whispered, all right. Let's fight. We spent the afternoon pulling boxes from the attic. Every scrap of proof, pay stubs, contracts, the signed deed from the bank. Dust clung to my fingers, but with each paper I held my spine straightened a little more. Daniel spread the documents on the dining table. This is airtight. No one can question it. Claire smirked. Unless they're blind and stupid. Which sadly half this town is. I managed a weak laugh. You always know what to say. But when the sun dipped low, doubt crept back in. I stared at Robert's old photo tucked inside a folder. I whispered, did you ever wish this for her instead of me? Did I steal her dreams somehow? Claire touched my shoulder. Stop. Robert is gone. This villa is yours. Don't let guilt rewrite history. Daniel added, Marissa's hurting. Victor feeds on that. But the law and the truth are on your side. I nodded, though my heart still ached. By evening I agreed to meet Julian, the lawyer, at his office. Claire insisted on driving. The streets buzzed with chatter. Eyes followed us, whispers trailed behind. At a stoplight, a woman leaned from her car window. Shame on you, Elena. Stealing from your own child. My throat closed. Claire shouted back, mind your own business. But the sting remained. I murmured, they hate me already. Claire squeezed my hand. Let them hate lies. We'll give them truth. Julian's office smelled of old books and leather. He adjusted his glasses as I laid the papers before him. He studied them carefully. Solid. But this fight won't be about documents alone. It'll be about narrative. He's painted you as a greedy mother. You must counter it with your real story. I swallowed. How? They won't listen. Julian leaned forward. They will if you look them in the eye. Tell them how you worked 2 jobs, saved every coin, sacrificed your youth. People respect sacrifice. Claire added, and if they don't, then we take him to court. Julian nodded. I'll prepare papers. But understand, public opinion may hurt more than any trial. I whispered, I can handle pain. I've lived with it long enough. What I can't handle is losing the dream I bled for. Julian smiled faintly. Then you've already won the hardest battle. Tomorrow we begin. That night back at the villa, I sat alone on the porch, the lake shimmering under the moon. I whispered to myself, they can take my name, call me a thief, twist every memory, but they will not take this home. Behind me Claire called softly, come inside, Elena. Rest. Tomorrow the storm begins. I clutched the deed against my chest and whispered back, let it come. The town hall buzzed like a hornet's nest. People crowded the wooden benches, whispering, staring at me as if I were already guilty. My palms sweated as I clutched the folder of documents. Claire leaned close. Remember, Elena. You're not here to beg. You're here to speak truth. I nodded, though my knees felt weak. Julian adjusted his tie beside me. When they ask questions, answer calmly. Facts over fear. But fear pulsed through every vein. The mayor cleared his throat. We're gathered to discuss allegations regarding the villa. Elena, you may speak first. I rose, voice trembling. For 30 years I worked. 2 jobs. Sleepless nights. Every coin went into a dream, to one day own a home by the water. Last month I signed the deed. It is mine. Legal, fair, honest. Murmurs filled the room. Someone shouted, what about your daughter? Before I could answer, Victor strode in, Marissa at his side. Gasps echoed. Victor spread his arms. What about her daughter indeed? Elena stole the dream Robert promised to Marissa. My heart lurched. Marissa avoided my gaze, eyes locked on the floor. I snapped, Robert never promised the villa. It didn't exist when he died. Victor's smirk widened. But his words mattered more than paper. He wanted his daughter safe, not his widow playing queen. Gasps rippled again. I held up the deed with shaking hands. This paper isn't just ink. It's years of blood and sacrifice. Ask the bank, ask Daniel, ask anyone who saw me break myself to earn this. Daniel rose from the crowd. She speaks truth. I handled the sale. Every step was legal. But Victor sneered, a paid agent will say anything. Claire jumped up, voice like fire. I saw Elena come home night after night with blistered hands, dead on her feet. She earned this. No one handed it to her. Someone muttered, but the daughter should come first. My voice cracked. I put her first every day of her life. Clothes, school, every meal while I starved. And this is my reward? To be called a thief. Finally, Marissa lifted her head. Her eyes were wet. She whispered, Dad told me I'd always have a home. You promised the same, Mom. But now it feels like you shut me out. Pain tore through me. I never shut you out. This villa was meant to be a new beginning, for both of us. Victor cut in harsh. Lies. She only thinks of herself. Look at her clutching those keys like a dragon with gold. The crowd murmured again. My legs shook, but Julian's whisper steadied me. Stay calm. One more push. I took a deep breath. If you think I stole, then call me a thief. But know this. No thief would sacrifice her youth, her body, her heart, just to build a place to finally breathe. If that makes me guilty, then I accept your judgment. Silence fell. Even Victor faltered. Then the mayor spoke. We've seen the deed, the bank records. Legally, the villa is Elena's. Allegations of fraud are unfounded. Relief flooded me, but Victor roared, law means nothing if the people see her for what she is. He grabbed Marissa's arm, pulling her toward the exit. Come. We don't need them. The truth will rot her soon enough. Marissa jerked free, tears spilling. Stop, Victor. Just stop. The whole hall froze. She turned to me, voice shaking. Mom, I don't know what's true anymore. But I know this. Every night you came home exhausted and I hated you for it. I thought you didn't care. Maybe I was blind. Maybe I still am. My chest cracked open. Marissa, all I ever wanted was for you to have more than I did. Victor snarled, don't listen. She's manipulating you. But Marissa backed away from him. No, you are. Gasps rippled again. Victor's face darkened. He stormed out, the door slamming like thunder. The hall erupted in whispers. Some sympathetic, some doubtful. But the tide had shifted. Marissa stood trembling, caught between the benches. I don't know if I can forgive you, Mom. Not yet. But I see now you didn't steal. You fought. Tears blurred my vision. That's all I wanted you to see. Claire hugged me tight. Daniel exhaled in relief. Julian gathered the papers, muttering, a good first step. But Victor won't quit easily. The mayor rapped the gavel. This meeting is adjourned. Ownership stands with Elena. Applause scattered, hesitant but real. I sank into the bench, hands trembling, heart raw. Claire whispered in my ear, you just won the first battle. But deep inside I knew Victor's shadow hadn't vanished. It had only grown darker. The next morning I woke to the sound of stones hitting my windows. I rushed out, heart pounding. Teenagers were scattering, laughing, shouting, thief, as they ran down the street. Claire stormed out behind me. Cowards, she yelled after them. I hugged my arms around myself. It's starting. Victor's poison is spreading. Inside the phone rang nonstop. Unknown numbers. I finally answered one. A voice hissed, how does it feel to rob your own daughter? And hung up. I dropped the receiver, trembling. He's turning everyone against me. Claire grabbed my shoulders. Let them talk. Words can't evict you. But I whispered, words can kill slowly. By noon, Daniel arrived, his face tense. Elena, we've got a problem. Victor filed a complaint with the housing board. Claims you falsified income records. My breath caught. That's impossible. I know, Daniel said quickly. But until it's cleared, the board will freeze certain approvals. Insurance, maintenance, anything linked to the property. Claire swore under her breath. He's choking her with red tape. I pressed my palms to my face. How do I fight lies that sound so official? Daniel placed a folder on the table. With proof. I've prepared financial statements, signed affidavits. But you'll have to present them personally. My stomach knotted. More public humiliation? Claire squeezed my hand. It's not humiliation, it's survival. That evening I heard shouting outside. Peering through the curtains I saw Victor on the street speaking to neighbors. His voice carried. She stole from her own child. Ask yourselves, if she can betray family, what stops her from betraying you? A woman nodded, muttering. A man crossed his arms, glaring at my villa. I couldn't stay hidden. I stepped outside, trembling but defiant. Stop spreading lies, Victor. He smirked. Come out, Elena. Defend yourself before your neighbors. The small crowd turned to me. I raised my voice. Yes, I bought this villa. With my money. I kept every record. I earned this home while raising my daughter alone. If that makes me a thief, then tell me, who did I steal from? Who worked those nights? Who gave up sleep, comfort, health? It was me. Murmurs spread. Some skeptical, others thoughtful. Victor laughed coldly. A rehearsed speech won't hide your guilt. Even your daughter knows you're lying. Pain stabbed me. Leave Marissa out of this. But then, unexpectedly, Marissa appeared at the edge of the crowd. Her voice shook. Stop using me, Victor. The crowd gasped. She looked at me, eyes full of conflict. Mom, I still don't know everything. But I know he twists words. I can't stand by him anymore. Victor's face reddened. Ungrateful child. He tried to grab her arm, but she stepped back. No. Not anymore. The crowd buzzed louder, divided now. Some turned away from Victor, muttering about his temper. I whispered, almost too soft to hear, "Thank you, Marissa." Her gaze flickered, torn between me and the crowd, then she walked away quickly, leaving Victor fuming. He pointed at me, spitting the words. This isn't over. I'll bury you legally, financially, socially. You'll wish you never set foot in this villa. I held my chin high though my insides shook. Do your worst, Victor. The truth will stand longer than your lies. Back inside I collapsed onto the couch, sobbing. Claire wrapped me in her arms. You held your ground, she whispered. That was stronger than any paper. Daniel paced the room. But he won't stop. Expect more complaints, more rumors. He wants to break you. I wiped my tears. Then let him try. I won't leave this home. Not after all I sacrificed. Claire nodded fiercely. That's the spirit. You fight, Elena. You fight until he chokes on his own lies. That night as I lay in bed I stared at the ceiling, hearing the lake outside, calm, eternal. I whispered into the dark, I will not surrender. Not to gossip, not to fear, not even to my own daughter's doubt. This house is mine. My blood is in its walls. And though my heart trembled, a new fire burned beneath the fear, small but steady. The storm was far from over, but for the first time I believed I could outlast it. The summons arrived on a gray morning. An official envelope with heavy print. Victor Hale versus Elena Moreau. My hands shook as I read the accusation. Fraud, misrepresentation, unlawful possession. Claire ripped the paper from me. This is his final play. He wants the court to take the villa. I whispered, if the court believes him, I lose everything. She grabbed my shoulders. Then we don't let them believe him. 2 weeks later I stood in the courthouse. The air reeked of polish and tension. Victor strutted in, his suit sharp, his grin sharper. Marissa sat behind him, but this time she didn't look proud. Her eyes darted nervously, and when they met mine there was a flicker of guilt. Julian whispered, stay steady. Documents, testimony, truth. That's our weapon. The judge called for opening statements. Victor's lawyer rose. Your Honor, this widow deceived the system, forged documents, and stole property meant for her daughter. We intend to prove her greed. My stomach twisted, but Julian stood calmly. Your Honor, what we will prove is simple. Elena earned this villa through decades of work. Every receipt, every deposit, every signature is real. The only lies in this room belong to Victor Hale. Victor leaned across the table, whispering, this place will be mine when you're left in the gutter. I stared him down. You'll choke on your lies before that happens. The first witness was Daniel. He spoke clearly. I oversaw the sale. Elena's finances were legitimate. No forgery. The deed is valid. Victor's lawyer sneered. And how much did she pay you to say that? Daniel flushed but answered firmly, not a cent. Integrity doesn't have a price. Next came Claire. She faced the courtroom with fire. I watched Elena destroy her health for years to save money. She skipped meals so Marissa could eat. If sacrifice is theft, then call her guilty. Murmurs filled the room. Finally the judge turned to me. Mrs. Moreau, do you wish to speak? My knees shook as I stood. Your Honor, I never asked for pity. I only ask for truth. I worked myself raw for this home. My late husband left me with grief and debt. Still I carried on, for my daughter. And now the man standing there dares to call me a thief? Let him show proof. Let him show one forged line, one false coin. He cannot. Because there is none. The courtroom stilled. Victor shot up shouting, she's lying. Robert wanted Marissa safe. She doesn't deserve this villa. The judge's gavel slammed. Sit down, Mr. Hale. But Victor couldn't stop. She's weak. She manipulated her daughter, stole her future. Marissa suddenly stood. Stop. All eyes swung to her. Tears streamed down her face. I believed you, Victor. I let you turn me against my mother. But I see now you don't care about me. You only care about the house. Victor froze. Marissa, don't. She cut him off, voice breaking. No. I remember Mom working double shifts, coming home exhausted, handing me every dollar she had. And I called her selfish. I was blind. But I see now. She built this dream. Not you. Not Dad. Her. The room erupted in whispers. Victor's face twisted with rage. Ungrateful brat. After everything I promised you. Marissa shouted, you promised me lies. The judge's gavel thundered. Enough. This court has seen sufficient evidence. The documents confirm Elena Moreau's legal ownership of the property. The accusations of fraud are baseless. Case dismissed. Cheers broke out in the gallery. My legs gave way and I sank into the chair, sobbing. Claire hugged me tight. Daniel patted my shoulder, whispering, it's over. You won. But Victor wasn't done. He lunged toward me, eyes wild. You think this ends here? You'll regret crossing me. 2 bailiffs restrained him, dragging him out as he cursed. The sight of him thrashing, powerless, etched itself into my mind. For the first time I saw not a monster, but a desperate, broken man whose lies had devoured him. Marissa approached slowly. Her voice was soft, trembling. Mom, I'm sorry. I should have trusted you. I should have stood by you. I pulled her into my arms, tears soaking her hair. You're my daughter. I'd forgive you 1,000 times over. She wept against me. I almost lost you. I almost let him take everything. I whispered, but you didn't. You came back. Claire wiped her own tears, muttering, about damn time. The judge announced the session closed. People filed out, murmuring about Victor's disgrace. For once the whispers weren't daggers, they were balm. Outside the sun blazed bright. Marissa clung to my hand. Can I come home with you? My heart swelled. Always. Claire smiled through tears. Then let's go home, all of us. We walked to the car together, leaving behind the courthouse where Victor Hale's power had crumbled. And as I looked at the sky, I whispered to myself, justice at last. The day after the trial, I woke before dawn. For years, mornings had carried a weight, a knot of dread pressing my chest. But this morning, the villa was quiet, peaceful, almost humming with relief. I walked barefoot through the halls. My fingers brushed the walls I'd painted, the frames I'd hung, the small imperfections that only I noticed. Every inch whispered, you built me. A knock sounded at the door. Claire shuffled in, holding 2 coffees. Couldn't sleep either? I laughed softly. Seems victory tastes like insomnia. He grinned. You're glowing. Haven't seen that in a while. I sipped the coffee, warmth spreading through me. Yesterday felt like breathing again after years underwater. Later that afternoon, Marissa arrived. She hesitated on the doorstep, clutching a small box. Come in, I said gently. Her eyes brimmed. Mom, I don't deserve to step inside. Not after what I did. I touched her hand. This house is as much your home as mine. No mistakes change that. She broke down, sobbing. I betrayed you. I chose him over you. I called you selfish. I almost gave everything away. I pulled her close. You were lost. He twisted you. But you found your way back. That's what matters. Marissa opened the box. Inside was the necklace Robert once gave me, a delicate silver chain I hadn't seen in years. I pawned it, she whispered. Victor told me it was worthless, just old metal. But I bought it back. I wanted you to have it again. My throat tightened. It's not the chain that matters. It's you standing here. He clasped it around my neck. Then let me stand by you from now on. That evening we sat together in the garden. Claire joined us with her usual blunt humor. Well, she said, raising her glass of wine, here's to the witch finally melting. Good riddance, Victor. I chuckled. He'll resurface somewhere, but not here. Not with us. Marissa frowned. Do you think he'll ever stop? Even after court? Claire shrugged. Men like him eat themselves alive. Don't waste breath worrying. I turned to Marissa. He's already lost the only thing he wanted. Control. We have the villa, and more importantly, we have each other. She nodded, squeezing my hand. Weeks passed. Repairs were made, gardens tended. For the first time, laughter echoed through the halls. One evening, Marissa surprised me. Mom, I've been looking into community classes. Cooking, sewing, even financial planning. I want to learn, really learn the way you did. Maybe even host workshops here for women like us. Women who've been manipulated, doubted, silenced. Tears welled in my eyes. That's beautiful. Turning pain into purpose. She smiled shyly. Will you help me? I pulled her close. Always. The villa began to change. Women came through our doors. Neighbors, acquaintances, even strangers. Seeking advice, sharing stories. Claire joked that we were running the house of the survivors. But beneath her sarcasm was pride. One night after everyone left, Marissa looked around the lit garden. Mom, this place feels alive. Like it was meant for this. I whispered, it was meant for us. And for every woman who walks through those gates carrying a burden. The past didn't vanish. At night, I sometimes dreamed of Victor's sneer, Robert's silence, the years of toil. But each morning, sunlight on the walls reminded me, the storm had passed. One afternoon, Claire caught me staring at the horizon. What are you thinking? She asked. That for once, I'm not afraid of tomorrow, I said. I'm not waiting for the next blow. I'm living. She clinked her glass against mine. About damn time. On the anniversary of Robert's death, Marissa and I lit a candle together. She whispered, I used to blame you for everything after he died. I see now, you carried more than anyone should have. You kept us afloat. I touched her cheek. Your forgiveness is more than I dreamed of. She hugged me tight. It's not forgiveness. It's love. The kind I forgot but never lost. That night as I lay in bed, the villa creaked with its familiar sounds. The hum of wind against the shutters, the quiet tick of the hallway clock. But instead of fear I felt peace. I whispered into the dark, to Robert, to the years gone by, to the woman I used to be. I survived. I fought. And I won. The villa stood tall around me, not just as walls and roof but as a testament. To resilience. To sacrifice. To the truth that no storm, no betrayal, no Victor Hale could steal what I had built with my own two hands. And with that I finally slept, safe, whole and home.